Hey, hi, Babil. I just wanted to say that I'm so happy for you.
You're feeding my narcissism. 8 years old, I want to ride my cycle. How will you approach art? Okay, ma'am, chalo, आपसे question पूछता हूँ. What is art to you? See, the moment I take my phone away and ask you a few questions, a whole new world develops.
True.
So you don't really need to, give that so much power. It was not about describing me, it was about the fact that I went there on my own. Mama was like, she couldn't have gone to that. But somebody had to go from the family to pick up the awards for him, for Baba. I was crying throughout, like it was a very, very emotional journey for me. So, but I got trolled for it, of course. So I think she just stood up for me. I used some wrong words in the past when I've said that, oh, my mother sacrificed her, her life for Baba. That made it sound like she, did something. No, she did it out of love. She wanted to do it. And that is even more powerful. That is the beauty. To do it out of love rather than to do it out of no option is what is that? To do it out of love is so much stronger. Like to sacrifice something, but because you love someone else. Yeah, I'm Irrfan's son and I'm Sutapa's son. I have my own pressures, but I've seen ADs. I've been around ADs and I have gone to film school where we shot music videos just to make the rent because Baba wouldn't send me. He would. I bartended. I made music videos.
Among the jolly person that you are, I think people forget the kind of resilience that you have.
It's because we always judge a book by its cover, right? So it's like crying. He's in so much pain. That means pain affects him. He's weak. But we don't see that that person is carrying the pain with him, and then using that pain to live his life, to carry on with his life. Your experiences can either make you bitter or they can help you grow. But that's your choice on how you take that experience. I am always constantly realizing things about myself and I'm like, man, I was manipulative in that situation. Man, I was toxic in that situation. So I'm always learning. And when you say that, yeah, of course.
Give me an insight into who you are.
Nothing. The first film I fell in love with was Dhoom.
I love this. Hello everybody, I'm Radwani and welcome to Spotlight Sessions, our very podcast that we call celebrities that we love, admire, to discuss their journeys, find out a little more about the person, who they are, know them a little better. My guest today is so special, supremely talented, extremely self-aware, extremely witty, and also extremely kind. Very difficult to find people who are like that in today's time. I'm of
You're
course
feeding my narcissism.
talking about. You described yourself over the years you have been as introverted extrovert for a while.
There's a word now for that. What is it called?
Now that there are a few years into the industry now that you've been, are you sure that you would still like to call yourself an introverted extrovert?
No, I call
or
myself
ambivert?
I mean, I don't know what an ambivert is. Like what? Like it's like you want to go out, you not want to go out. It's like it's. I think I don't understand it, but it's. I do have a contrasting personality. Like I did write a poem on it recently.
You did?
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't like to define it, honestly, ma'am. Why to put a label on something that not require one?
Fair enough, sir. I agree with you.
Okay, ma'am.
Cannot. I'm going to play something for you.
Oh God.
So, and then we
I'm
get into
already
the
scared.
conversation. No, it's good. It's good. this is a small thing from someone who you love and someone who I really admire.
Oh, that's okay.
Hey, hi, Babil. I just wanted to say that I'm so happy for you that your film is coming out, and it's not about one film. हर बार तुमने एक अच्छी फिल्म दी है हम सबको. कला, रेलवे मैन, फ्राइडे नाइट प्लान, सभी पिक्चरों की जो तुमने चुना है इस फैब्यूलस, हमारे बिना किसी मदद के लिए, जो रोल के लिए तुम हाँ कहते हो, वो मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है. मैं शायद कभी तुम्हें बता नहीं पाई कि आई लव योर चॉइसेस, और तुम उन कहानियों को कहते हो हाँ जिनको कही जानी चाहिए. अब ये लॉग आउट आ रही है जो कि मुझे पता है कमाल की फिल्म है, तो इसीलिए ऑल द बेस्ट. प्लस जो प्रोजेक्ट्स आने वाले हैं उनकी कहानियाँ भी कमाल की हैं, तो इसीलिए तुम्हें मैं सिर्फ ये कहने के लिए कि यू ऑलवेज मेक गुड चॉइसेस एंड गुड चॉइसेस मेक्स अ गुड एक्ट. लव यू बेटा.
So this is how you wanted to start with tearing up, like this is
Come
how a film
here.
ends.
You're amazing. What?
No, I just really respect her words and take them to my heart. So,
She
yeah.
did. I want to tell you that I had to reach out
Yeah.
to her very last minute.
Yeah.
And she immediately was like, I'll figure this out for
Yeah.
you. And she not only she could have just sent me a voice message, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she selected some of the most amazing pictures. And she sent me a collage. Nobody does this. Trust me, I have reached out to people for messages. They're just sending you normal messages and beautiful messages. She took an effort. She's like, you know, mera face nahi hai, I couldn't, whatever. She made a beautiful collages of some of the most beautiful pictures. I think she's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And it shows how proud she is of you.
I don't think she's proud. I think she's happy. I think that
I
word,
also.
proud is, you know, in our family that we never. I used to actually ask my parents why you never say I'm proud of you when I was very very young.
Correct.
And they just asked me this one thing, that what does the word proud mean. I didn't have an answer because I was only asking because I'd seen it in Western culture, you know. Oh, I'm proud of you, son, I'm proud of you, son. So I was like, why don't you say I'm proud of you? Then I researched on the word proud, and I don't want my parents to have pride in me. I want them to be happy for my journey rather than proud of me. I think proud, गुरूर किस बात का होना चाहिए? गुरूर क्यों? खुशी होनी चाहिए.
Can we talk about growing up with
Yeah.
Sutapa ma'am?
Yeah.
Can we talk about
That would be amazing.
how it is to be around this amazing woman, like you were just telling me, who kind of made both you and Irrfan sir, both of them.
Yeah, parented
right?
both of us, yeah.
Let's talk about how it was growing up with a mother like that.
I think, you know, usually in life we feel like success is when you've achieved something, when you've done this, when you've done that. But what we don't notice is the effort, the amount of effort somebody puts in the small things like this. You know what I mean? The amount of effort, that effort was not needed, but she put it. You know, the way she, when I come back from shooting and I lie down and I just dead tired, and she'll take micellar water. She'll take micellar water on the cotton pad, and she'll just, as I'm lying down, she'll take off my makeup. She'll put a pimple patch if I'm getting a pimple. She'll put tea tree oil, and it's just the effort that somebody puts in the small things. I think that is also true success. You don't have to, you know, be materially successful or known or available or famous or any of that. If you just if you put a lot of effort even into a small thing, I think that's successful enough.
You know, just a few moments ago, I could see how emotional it made you to see that she
Yeah.
said, she kind of validated the choices that you've made till now.
Yeah.
You started with Qala. Oh,
Mhm.
That's one of my favorite films because of the way it was shot, because of this exemplary performances. It required a certain depth in an actor to understand that character as well, I think. You know?
Yeah, ma'am, but honestly, I'll be honest with you, I have come to this realization where I understand why I feel a little guilty saying, oh yeah, thank you, when somebody compliments my performance, because I know that when I go on set, that performance is not just me, it's every single person on the set, from the caterer to the focus puller to everybody, the first AD to the 7th AD to the intern to the costume designer to the production designer, everybody is working just to make that performance work. You know, so how when somebody's like, oh, you killed it, I was like, yeah, also the light, because the light fell on my face and I was in focus and I was moving so fast and the Steadicam operator was moving with me, and you know, I can't take credit. How can I take it? How?
Sure.
It just doesn't work for me.
Even if it's like you're saying, you play a smaller part in the larger picture, but you do play an important part.
Yeah. But I would like to
Something
thank
like
the larger picture.
Fair enough. Okay. At some point, I'm going to make you accept it. I'm like hell bent.
Hopefully.
I'm going to say no. It's fine to say.
Yeah, because even
good actor.
yeah, I would like to say thank you once. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know Sutapa ma'am is also she can be a very truthful and a harsh critic, and also a very good critic.
Yeah.
And growing around people like this is very good, is because you get to be even more self-aware. So when someone like this gives you feedback throughout your life, can be in your personal choices, it can be what you're making, and someone who just said like, I think Logout is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that she's not lying about it.
Yeah.
So I want to know that.
Yeah.
And also, how is it growing around a person who's dishonest? And how it kind of makes you as a person, and that inculcates that quality in you?
I think honesty, it is one of her strong suits, but what is inspirational about her is how much of a fighter she is. She has kept our family together. She has been the sun in the solar system of our family, and that is a very difficult job to do because you have 3 maniacs running around you and you yourself are this deep-rooted artist who sacrificed so much, but with her own wish, not out of any with her own wish. She sacrificed so much for you, for the love, for your love. So I just want to do the things that I promised her I would do.
What are few of them?
I want to travel the world with her, and I want to make sure, she loves to travel, and I would love to make her travel.
Love that.
Yeah, and I've not been able to do that yet, but I want to do that.
She mentioned Logout. So we must get into that.
Yeah, you're getting looked over.
Validated by Sutapa ma'am is a big deal. But like I said, your choices have been so varied, Babil. So tell me how it was to be someone who's completely opposite to who you are, because you're as disconnected as connected as Pratman is to his world, right?
I think it's his connection with the world that I don't relate to, but
sure.
I don't think there is a single person in this entire earth that I would not be able to relate to, because I genuinely believe that there is every single shade within us. It is the first few years of our conditioning that decide our identity, and we're just playing that part, we're just playing that role. I'm playing that role of Babil, So I just have to switch, look inside myself, see what I deny about myself, look into what I'm ashamed of, what I'm guilty of, what I feel insecure about. When I truly look at those things, I will find all the characters there. So Pratyush is not far from me. It's the external factors that are far from me.
So getting straight to a man who knows words and uses them very well. When are you releasing a book? When are you doing that? I have been following your writing since eons now, and you are so incredible.
I think I'm intelligent but not wise enough to write a book.
Really? Tell me, let's get into it. Why do you say that?
Because intelligence, I can use a lot of words to describe something complicated and make it even more complicated.
Okay.
But wisdom is when you can concise that complication into a few words, right? And it communicates.
We were discussing it off the camera and you said you must bring it up. You're pretty unhinged and very unafraid to go into your darker aspects of your writing before.
Yeah, darker as in?
Emotions are not always happy all the time.
Yeah, okay.
But you've been very vocal about it. And I think most artists do that. They are a lot of artists in their own ways have defined pain, trauma, and I think it's a kind of cathartic experience also for everybody in their own journey.
Of course.
I feel like you've embraced it. A lot of people are not able to do that, right?
Yeah, but I hit the jackpot with the upbringing. No, it is not I can't take credit for that. Because it was just there. I didn't have to work hard to have that perspective, because that perspective was instilled in me by somebody else's hard work. So I just need to honor that, and I just need to, live up to that responsibility rather than take credit for it.
So because I'm talking so much about how well you write, थोड़ा पढ़ना तो बनता है.
No.
What?
Why?
Of course.
Why
I
would
told
you do
you.
that?
And then I'm also going to read something your mother wrote, which I'm just like.
We could do that.
But first with you, you're not getting away with this.
Okay, fine.
I'll have to get into it. Okay. This was a post that you, of course, wrote with so much heart.
I'm so scared right now.
No, it's
terrified.
beautiful. It's beautiful. When I read your post, it kind of made sense as to how maybe this was something I could feel closer to, which is why I said in the beginning that there are things that I could relate to. So I'm going to read a post that you wrote, which said, I'm trying to remember that perfume you wore.
Oh God.
When we traveled north to watch lights dance in Norway. I remember exactly the feeling of your smell, but I can't remember the materialism of it. I remember the sensation on my fingertips when you spread my palms to tell my fortunes, but it frightens me to forget your playful pinch on my nostrils. It's longer, but like I said, we'll read a few and then we'll get into it. Oh my God, beautiful.
What do you mean? It was so long ago. Oh my God. I could have worded that much more.
You please accept it. It's great. I don't
Okay,
want to take a
okay,
show of hands. How
okay.
great is this in the room
Okay,
right
thank
now?
you. I'm
Exactly.
learning how to do it. Thank
But
you.
it is, like I said, some of your writing feels cathartic to me in a sense, because the way you express it. Was it easier to deal with grief in the way you write? It feels like it. Or was this an escape? Was this a safe place? How do you describe it?
It was definitely not an escape. I think to be able to to be able to write. See, now if I'm saying to be, to hell with it. To be able to write and to be able to dig into yourself like that, I guess you have to be in acceptance of those emotions, right? And not be trying to escaping them. I think when art as catharsis is like the first layer of art that you experience, then it becomes deeper than catharsis. Then I think you have some way, when you experience that, it becomes cathartic to other people. But throughout that journey, if you're not honest with your emotions, if you're not honest with your shame or your insecurities or your sense of guilt or your regrets, if anybody says that I have no regrets, they are definitely lying. Like, they're definitely in denial of a lot of things, right? Because a life without regrets is a life not lived.
Yeah.
It's like a constant spell of humiliation after humiliation after humiliation. That is the only way we learn. So yeah, if you're not honest to those feelings, I don't think that art can be cathartic to you or to anybody that you're expressing that art to. Because when he passed away, it never felt, because it was such a collective loss, I also felt that responsibility of sharing that catharsis for somebody who's feeling the pain of losing him,
Absolutely.
So it was like a family thing.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I connected to it. Maybe, which is beautiful. Nobody thinks about others when you're going through pain, which is what I thought was interesting in the way you wrote it. Like the way you said that, I hope others who read it could kind of connect to it, which I think was beautiful.
I think, ma'am, how else do you approach art? If art can't be approached, how will you approach art? Okay, ma'am, chalo, aapse question पूछता हूँ. What is art to you?
Like many others, for me, art is a form of expression. Art is also a form of where I can feel every little emotion that I can feel. Maybe also a safe space. For me, watching films is a way for me to escape, celebrate, and find my safe space.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is that how it is for you as well?
No, but that's not. But that is not. I think art is different to
For
everybody.
everybody. It is.
That is the point of it.
Sure.
For me, it's just to be able to surrender into to the present moment, to be here and now, to be with you right now,
Yeah.
and bring all of me to this moment, and be honest to that. That is art for me. I shouldn't control the situation, you know.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love how you said it. Okay, you said read Mum's instead of mine because I know you're getting embarrassed, but
No,
some
no.
incredible writing that you've done. बड़ा कड़क लौंडा है. चुप चुप
Oh yeah,
के
I
नहीं
remember this.
सबके सामने जोर जोर रोता है वो. बड़ा कड़क लौंडा है वो. बाप की यादों को समेटता है वो नाजुक उंगलियों से. ब्यूटीफुल. बिखेरता है उन्हें खुशबू की तरह, सहजता है उन्हें बंद डायरी में. Long, beautiful. Please go and read this post.
It's a long
I'm going
one.
to put it up
It's a long, it
on
was
the
after
screen.
the Filmfare Award.
It was.
Yeah.
I think it was incredible the way she described you.
Yeah.
I love she says जोर जोर से रोता है वो. Because in a country where we are told men are not supposed to be, we are supposed to be strong all the time.
Crying is the greatest expression of strength. If you are brave enough to cry in front of people, who's stronger than you?
Described you very well, right? Is this who you are?
She
Somehow-
supported me, right? Like it was not about describing me. It was about the fact that I went there on my own. Mama was like, she couldn't have gone to that.
Correct.
But somebody had to go from the family to pick up the awards for him, for Baba. And I was crying throughout. Like, it was a very, very emotional journey for me. So, but I got trolled for it, of course. So I think she just stood up for me.
Yeah.
That's my mom.
It's a sad world to be told for living an emotion. I feel like the world is cruel. I remember a quote that you had given when people were asking you about something, and I think you went out and you mentioned that stick to who you're being, and it's okay.
Yeah.
They will not like it and they will troll you.
Yeah.
I love that you had that clarity, because sometimes it can be really, it can be weird. It can really break you.
Yeah, it will break you, and that's the point. It has to break you. If you're not broken, then you will. Do you know about this Japanese way of mending broken vessels with gold?
Yes,
what is
I
it
do.
called?
I don't
There's
think
a thing. It's called
something, but I know what you're saying.
Ikigai. Is it called Ikigai? No, it's not.
It's not called Ikigai.
Yeah, it's something else.
Ikigai is that book calls. The living.
Yes. But that concept is so beautiful. Something that is fixed, something that is, after it's broken and it's mended back, it's so much more beautiful. The pain you deny, it will always haunt you, but the pain you carry as a friend, it will always cherish you. It will always evolve you as a person.
Because you said that, I have to mention.
Yeah.
Is it okay for me to say that you only come out stronger for everything? Is because it's strange that people thought it was weird that you're being extra kind.
Honestly, ma'am, I'll tell you something. I have the one big realization I've had throughout these years is that it's very easy to. It was very easy for me to be like, it's this is the fault. This is where the fault lies. The world is not right. The people are cruel to me. But I realized that I am the one giving the power, right? I am the one giving the power to their opinions to let it affect me. Of course, it'll hurt. Let it hurt. It's okay. It'll be very scary the next time you post you would like to share poetry, or you'd like to share something that people don't accept. But that's the point, right? You have to feel that fear, and you have to feel that pain. You have to feel that anxiety and go for it.
Whatever you said is exactly what you wrote in that post as well, right? After you posted, where you
Which
said
one?
it's okay. Some people, I see you, some have stayed in the lane and you've not switched lanes.
That was I wrote a rap. I wrote a comeback rap because because Kendrick
cool.
was dissing somebody and everything was happening, and there were lots of battle raps were happening. I also got into the mood. I also wrote a rap.
Which was the part of I see you when you don't switch lanes.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
cool.
a rap. Yeah, it could go on a beat as well.
Do people know you can play different instruments?
I
Guitar,
play the guitar and I play
piano. if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but not like my brother. Like my brother can play the piano. I play the piano in order to make music on a software, right? Like I can produce music,
Yeah.
but Ayan can play the piano. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's really good at the. I'm really good at the guitar. Like I'm a good guitar player.
Yeah, fantastic. Also singer. I will not make you sing. I
Thank
mean, if you
you.
want to, that's okay.
No, I don't. It's why I'm very shy, and also I want if I decide to do that, I would like to do that.
With you want to take and manage
Yeah.
that story. Like you
Yeah.
want to take ahead in the way.
Yeah.
Fair. But fantastic. If you ever do, I think we're all cheering for you. Please do it.
I will. One day I will. I promise. I will write a book and I will.
Produce music, sing
an
in it.
album. I
Give me a
promise.
high five.
But I don't know when.
We're all cheering for you. There are two pictures I want to say because to also understand that you've done stage from when you were very young. Like I want to make people also
But
understand.
I don't want people to think that I've done theatre practice or I've gone through the training process of theatre because I have not, and it takes a lot of effort, and I wouldn't like to take that credit without having.
No,
done it. So I
absolutely,
just
but
don't want
you
that to
did-
be misunderstood. Yeah.
Sure, fair enough. But you remember this? It was the first
Oh
time.
yes! Oh yes! Oh my God!
Hello.
Yeah,
Right?
this is the first time he saw me. He was not there for the first play. He
Okay.
was not there for Comedy of Errors. But this was the first time he saw me. I was so scared. Oh my God. I was so scared. I remember. Oh my God, yeah.
Really? Why?
Because I was only performing for one man. It was like everybody was. There were so many people, but I knew that, I couldn't get. I knew that he was watching me for the first time. And he walked up, he got up, he walked up to me after the performance, and he's like, yes, man, ye kiska try karo. Then I tried it again. I mean, the play was over, but everybody sat down because he walked up and gave a suggestion, and then everyone was like, yeah, let's watch again.
But was that your school, let's say, from where you learned your acting or you kind of started honing your skill? Can that be, because like you rightly said, you made it clear, ऐसा नहीं कि मैं बोल सकता हूँ मैंने theatre सीखा है whatever. But can I call that, because I don't have too much information on that.
Yeah,
like I said, I want to
I can-
understand the artist in you.
I can tell you, Baba never, accept that little suggestion over there and sometimes little things, but he never explicitly taught me anything about acting because he never believed that acting can be taught, life can be taught, and then somehow you have to find a way to bring life into acting. Life he taught me with the best of his abilities. Craft, and through that he taught me, the way to learn the craft. So when I did my film Logout, in this film it's a very technical film. I don't have space for improvisation. I don't have any space to do anything but to stick to the beat, stick to the mark, stick to the, I have to do it everything on very fast, on time, in that much space,
Very
that much
enclosed
depth of
space.
feel. Yeah. And then the vertigo shot, oh my God. 20 takes I was crying for on the I don't want to reveal
But
on
really?
the two part. Yeah, because you have to get from all the
You
angles.
can tell me a little bit because I have seen the film. So
Yeah, but
Not
this
for the
is
everybody
after-
else, but not-
Okay, so the middle portion,
Correct.
the big one, and then the last one, the terrace one.
correct.
So there was the 20, I think 20 takes for each because we have
Whoa.
to, because there's only me and the computer, we have to get variations of different angles.
Correct.
So I have to so I have to be there in that. But because of his learning, his teachings of life and his teachings of how to live life, I could absorb that craft so much faster. So yes, in a way he did teach me acting, but he didn't like in the future, you know what I mean? Like he did something, like what is it called, time capsule, like a time capsule. He taught me acting. Yeah.
Because you're talking about Logout, I want to understand. A lot of people ask actors, what is your process? Again, if you don't want to discuss
no,
process,
I think
if
it's
sacrosanct?
just no.
Okay.
I just think that it's the question in itself. An actor has one process to go to every film. Then he's not. What is he doing differently? The process should be that there is no process and the story will tell you the process. You have to go into the story with uncertainty, with doubt, with not knowing if you can do it, you know, if you go in with surety, then probably it wouldn't be one of your good works, you know. I think that's my opinion.
So what are your different processes?
Every film will just teach you the process.
Okay.
The story will tell you what to do, because it's important to be open and not to be too sure of yourself when you're that. I think that is one overall, you know, like an envelope that kind of surrounds all processes. But I would still not call it that. Like, it's just go with uncertainty, go with doubt, don't be too sure about what, if you know, don't be too sure of what you know.
For someone who has willingly stayed away from social media, or let's say...
I just don't like it. I don't...
Correct.
Yeah. It's
Willingly.
my thing. I just don't find it interesting.
My question here was, of course, you're doing a film, right? That is understanding this person who's a content creator who is absolutely sucked into the world that he has created. It is consuming him in that way, right? And which is most of us. Today, we are consumed by our phones. So it must have been very interesting for you to completely change your thinking towards your own personal beliefs and to get into your character, to understand how this is working for him. And the second part of the question is that how have you managed to not be trapped in the fact that you have to get such a, you know, social media mein hona hi padega, ya there's a certain amount of time, because most of the times when actors become in a, you know, who they want to be and even more popular, they're advised that this is also a medium of work. You have to be there, you have to be more present, you have to make sure that you're connecting with people and that'll help you get more projects. There are a lot of advices always given to actors. How are you able to not get trapped in all of that is my question.
By not letting... by trying to find my worth within myself. By trying to build a life that is not okay, if I take your phone away, what is your, like, what would you do? What are the different things that you could do in a day? And there's no podcast, there's nothing.
Sure.
Yeah, right. What would you? How would you spend your day?
I would definitely read more.
Read more?
Because I always tell I love reading and I have so many new books I keep buying. But I feel like I would read so much more.
Yeah.
And I would probably...
What is a hobby that you had when you were a child that you left? It's
So
impossible.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me one that you liked very much.
I think, I don't know about liking very much, but I thought I could sketch.
Yeah. Done sketching.
But it's not good.
It doesn't
I
matter.
wasn't good at it.
It's not about judging yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Is it?
But it was kind of fun, you know, just to like sit and...
enjoy sketching?
Yeah, I had at some
Reading,
point.
there's sketching, and would you like to travel?
100%. I think travel, but then again, like if I have to be honest to you, because I don't want to be dishonest to a person who's being honest to me, I will want my phone. I want to. It's so sad that we become these people like capturing every moment.
Okay, so have you ever shot on a 35mm film camera?
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
No problem. Have you ever shot on a DSLR?
Of course.
See, the moment I take my phone away and ask you a few questions, a whole new world develops.
True.
So you don't really need to, you know, give that so much power.
I agree with you. So tell me how you were exploring this mind. Like I said, you know, through the film, through what you thought of this world and the way people are looking at their phones. How did, now that you've done a film, full-fledged, understanding a character like that, what are your inferences, if I can say so?
So because I don't relate to social media does not mean I'm not addicted to anything. Like, say, my passion, like I was obsessed with football back in the day. Right? Like, if you took my football away from me, I would really panic, you know, like
Who do you still love?
Huh?
Which are the teams? Name a few teams that you love and players.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
My favorite player was Arjen Robben, because he has this one move that he does and everyone knows that he's gonna do it, but nobody can predict it. He cuts in with his left foot. But that is not important.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah, so it's not about social media or the phone. That is just the structure of the film to make it relevant at the present time. But the soul of the film, the desire for, you know, the desire for external validation and how we sacrifice our own self-worth and self-love for that external validation, and then start hating ourselves and then projecting that hate onto others and create this toxic environment of, you know, this loop of hatred and seeking validation, hatred and seeking validation. So yeah, that's the soul of the film, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what I related to. I didn't need social media. I didn't need the phone. It was that desire for that external validation that I stuck to.
You know, you said this and you spoke about hate. I remember the time when, again, Chitwa Man had given this quote about how, like, let my son be. You know, he's a kind, soft soul and maybe he won't take it.
Yeah.
I love it. And he was like, you know, he's his own person. You know, he's a softer soul. My question to you is, but I think you're soft, but I also see an incredible amount of resilience in you.
Thank you.
Which I think the world doesn't know about, because, you know, amidst all this, you know, this persona.
Bubbliness.
No, all this, not appearance. It'll be wrong to call it. Among the jolly person that you are, I think people forget the kind of resilience that you have.
I think it's because
what I was trying to say.
It's because we always judge a book by its cover, right? So it's like crying. He's in so much pain. That means pain affects him. He's weak. But we don't see that that person is carrying the pain with him, and then, you know, using that pain to live his life, to carry on with his life. Your experiences can either make you bitter or they can help you grow. But that's your choice on how you take that experience. No experience is small, you know.
Yeah.
Every little experience, it's just how you choose to experience that moment can change everything.
I will take this moment to ask you.
Yeah.
Can you please define masculinity, or not define, maybe, as like I like to say. Like you were telling me, of course, you know, my mother and the upbringing, sure. But you have understood it and you have defined it. I love that.
Masculinity. I think a man that can listen, really listen, not just to someone else, but to his environment, to himself. For me, that's masculinity. Because a man that can listen is a man that is aware, and a man that is aware is a man that can do whatever he wants. Do whatever he wants. When I say that go and evolve in whatever path he takes. But truly listen, not listen to reply back. You know what I mean? Not listen, but listen for the moment to be heard, for the person to be heard, for the situation to be heard, for himself to be heard, really heard. You know. May I say something? Just one thing.
Please do.
There's this book called The Sapient Cosmos. You know about that book?
I've heard, I haven't, like I told you.
Yeah.
I have like many books I'm supposed to read, but my friend has read it and...
Yeah. So basically, Sapient Cosmos is this idea of our brain is not the source of consciousness. It is just a channel. Like we channel consciousness.
Correct.
Right. So the more you listen, the more you allow your brain and your breath to listen to your body, you can channel that consciousness in a way which just shows you a light, you know, shows you the path. And I think that is a man for me, because that man can conquer anything, and the biggest thing to conquer is himself.
So this is really beautifully put. I also was asking that is because a lot of the internet also believes you're a extremely green flag person.
What is this green flag, man?
So let us
change the color. I want to be
whatever color you want to be.
A turquoise flag.
But let's get into what they mean. Okay, we can give it whatever word. I don't think it's very difficult to be that much of a green flag, and you're that. And I mean,
thank you.
You know what I'm saying? It's my observation.
Yeah. Because I am always constantly realizing things about myself, and I'm like, man, I was manipulative in that situation. Man, I was toxic in that situation. So I'm always learning, and when you say that, yeah, of course. Man,
can you exemplify this?
Thing is, that's not the point. The point is that we manipulate ourselves all the time. Our brain,
like that.
Our intelligence is always manipulating us to survive, because our brain is like the CPU, right? It's there to make us survive. The more aware you become of how the games it plays with you, and the games you are not even aware of that you play with others, you realize how manipulative you've been in life with people, you know, how toxic you've been. And when you, once you're aware and you repeat it, then that for me is just not, that's wrong. But but if you're aware and you know, you don't repeat and you try to grow, at least there's a way there to become better and to grow. So that's why I don't think I'm a green flag.
Yeah, your mother had put out posts about, you know, her relationship with your father, with you, how she brought up kids, where she says that, you know, now I'm going to places that we've always planned to go, I go with them. And you had mentioned some time back, right? Like, not only me, like, she was helping him grow up and being there. I think this is such a beautiful way to look at relationships also. You know, this exchange of making each other grow. Very unconsciously you're doing it.
Absolutely.
Does that impact your understanding of relationships, of partner, of life? And has that helped? You know, maybe that has impacted you in some way.
Yeah, because she never, you know, I used some wrong words in the past when I've said that, oh, my mother sacrificed her, you know, her life for Baba. That made it sound like she, you know, did something. No, she did it out of love. She wanted to do it. And that is even more powerful. That is the beauty. To do it out of love rather than to do it out of no option is what is that, you know, like to do it out of love is so much stronger. Like to sacrifice something, but because you love someone else and you're sure of that and you make that decision, not nobody's forcing you to make that decision. I think that's beautiful.
I didn't understand that in our society we are told that you cannot, like, if you're coming from like trauma or something, you are going to fail at relationships. Society sometimes is assuming that people look at you with a certain way. But you know, I read something when you, because like I said, I've read your post. I think you understand that messy relationships also add to your understanding.
I think that to have a point of view in the world where you look at it in a you know, binary way, where it's either black or white or right or wrong or good or bad, I think these are just polar, you know, like just extremes of looking at things, which I can't. I think there needs to be a new kind of way of looking at things where it is somewhere in the middle of it. Like even science and spirituality, why does it have to be divided? Why can't it be scientific spirituality? You know what I mean? Like, why not? Why can't it be a bridge? And that's what quantum mechanics is doing now, right? That is exactly, and theoretical physics is feeling behind quantum mechanics, and it is a fact.
You know, because you sped that in to mention spirituality, I was saying that, you know, I'm also coming from a household that are absolutely different religions and everybody, right? Both Sutapa ma'am and sir, both of them had that. Like he didn't have. Religion for him was spirituality, like Sutapa ma'am described it in one of her quotes, saying
religion, I don't think it was, he never followed any kind of religion. He studied religion. It was no, and so did I. Everybody in our family has studied religion, but not, we've not been we've celebrated everything from, you know, we celebrate everything and we celebrated with everybody because for us humanity was the religion, you know, and that's what it was. He never forced anything on us. Mama never forced anything on us. But we did have to study it. Like, you know, I had to read the Bhagavad Gita, I had to read the Quran, I had to read the Bible as a part of my education.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So talking about films and education, coming back to you, films. I want to understand the first time you fell in love with the film. Understood it, what you like in it, because I think like when you're doing it, like give me an insight into who you are.
Nothing. The first film I fell in love with was Dhoom.
I love this.
No, Tarkovsky is playing at home. Why would I want to watch all this? You know, all that I understand now. 8 years old, I want to ride my cycle and 10.
And Hrithik Roshan.
Yeah. That was 2. That was Dhoom 2. Dhoom 1 was John.
Oh, John, the OG, of course. You went with John. I love that. So that was that. Tell me the kind of films that you would see, you want to explore more. Tell me the kind of things that you hope the world gets to see from you as an artist.
Romance,
You are 100% romantic. And Oof, you write so beautifully about romance.
Thank you. And I got romance from both my parents, no, just not from,
So
I
cute,
have,
no?
I have a yin yang of romance, both the sides of it.
So romance for sure.
Yeah, 100% comedy, but comedy needs a lot of skill because I performed with Biswa sir, Biswapati Sarkar.
Of course.
Yeah. Biswa sir, I just performed with, and first take I was funny. It's because it's intuitive. Second take I was okay. Third take I didn't think I was funny, but people were laughing. Fourth take nobody was laughing, but
I find it
Biswa sir was funny till the 18th, like he was funny till the last take. It made me the 18th take, 20th take, it doesn't matter. So I think it takes an incredible amount of skill and assurance in yourself to be funny on camera, on script, on craft. Humor, comedy is one of the toughest things to do in acting.
You've AD'd on Kareeb Kareeb Single,
Yeah.
which I think had some of the best comedic lines and
Yeah,
performances.
yeah.
Very underrated still in comedy. Don't you feel so, that film? I
Yeah.
mean, it got a lot of love, but I still feel it was fun.
Yeah, it was really.
You were an AD on that. What did you
Yeah.
learn from the sets? What did you learn from watching such comedic performances live?
I learned actually it connect because it was around the time when I had messed up my ankle, and I was, it was 2 years after that, 3 years after that. So I was a huge fan of Ronaldinho because the way he smiled and enjoyed the game, he didn't care or didn't take any pressure. He was enjoying the game with lightness of being, just dancing on the field, not making people scoring goals. And that's how I saw Baba perform in Kareeb Kareeb Single, with that love for life, that love for the game, that love for the craft, the love for the passion. That was the first time I'd seen him be so light and be so, अरे इतने जोर से क्या एक लाइन में इतने जोर से क्यों चिल्ला रहे हो? अरे धीरे कौन चिल्लाता है यार?
Yeah, I love it, exactly.
He was priceless in that, I think.
So,
Yeah.
what are two things you learned as an AD? For anybody who's planning to join the industry, probably will come in handy. What are the things that you learn as an AD on set?
You have to have a lot of passion for for cinema. It's a difficult industry. You have to really love what you're doing, otherwise it will eat you up. It's tough out here, man. Yeah. I mean, I know I say that from a point of view where, yeah, I'm Irrfan's son and I'm Sutapa's son. I have my own pressures, but I've seen ADs. I've been around ADs, and I have gone to film school where we shot music videos just to make the rent, because Baba wouldn't send me. I bartended, I made music videos, I was at the World Cup bartending. World Cup is going on behind me and I can't turn around and look because I have to pour.
That teaches you a lot, doesn't it?
Huh?
When you're doing that, it teaches you a lot.
A lot. I will not rate that for anything, and it was so exciting. At that time, of course, it was hustling, but I wouldn't rate that for the world. But I did all of that because I had so much passion for what I was doing. If you don't have the passion, if the intention of why you're coming here is really important, is very, very important.
You spoke about dealing with the pressures.
Yeah.
How do you then check your mental health? How do you take care of that? Because you're also among the ones who've been so beautifully talking about dealing with it. You've gone through your anxieties, you've gone through your own periods of
I've not
lows.
gone through it. I'm going through it.
You're going through it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
always.
I'm
I
sorry
think
I said that.
everybody is. I think there's a what I have, at least how I approach it is being able to sit with yourself in silence without your phone, noise, anything. Just time yourself, right? Time how long you can breathe. Just breathe and sit with yourself and feel your body and feel the weight of your body go down, and then feel the anxiety, feel whatever is coming inside, whatever is happening inside you, whatever it is, whatever your soul is doing, or whatever your heart is doing, how fast it's beating. Just sit with yourself and don't try to control anything. Just see what is happening.
I don't know very well, like you said, ups and downs to hota hi hai, right? Like it's a journey.
Yeah, of course.
It is a journey.
Yeah.
But do you think you're doing okay? You have managed to find that thing that works for you?
No, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think that was a very it was
Honest
like
answer.
It was like a paradoxical answer.
No, but it's okay.
Yeah, but I'm okay with not knowing what I'm doing right now. Like it's not right now. It's just at any point in life when you feel like you have control, you're probably doing something that is not right. Like it's not aligning, because you're not supposed to feel control. You're supposed to feel surrender. It's very important to make that distinction within yourself, just for your own sanity and peace, and don't chase happiness, chase peace. Peace with your feelings, peace with your emotions, peace with yourself, because happiness is imposed on us by our society, and because we live in a world where everything is for sale, right? So we're sold happiness every day. Like, be happy, be happy, be happy. अरे कभी कभी रोना आता है, रोने तो यार, मतलब कहीं होता है ना, कभी कभी उठते हो आपको बुरा लग रहा है, फिर भी नहीं खुश होना है, खुश होना है, खुश होना है. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be happy. Why not live what is happening in that?
Feel the pain.
Yeah, feel the moment. It doesn't have to be pain. It could
Feel
be
anything.
boredom. Feel the boredom.
It's been a while I've heard an honest answer on that.
Yeah.
And I'd like to thank you for it.
Because pain is very you romanticize pain. It's gone. Like it'll get confusing.
So I'm here celebrating your life in mind. Divine bittersweetness. I was listening to the Beatles and then you got me obsessed with the Doors and we used to sing along.
Yeah, love me 2 times.
But music has added to the artist who you are.
100. I don't think. I think it's just absorption. The ability to absorb. I think that's what it is. If I'm exposed to something, I can absorb it easily. I think that was the teaching, more than art and these fancy words.
But what is on your current playlist? Because I know you have now so much. Because you were telling me how important music is for you.
Yeah. There's this this artist I'm listening to. His spelling is Odie, and he has this. Yeah, he just makes really interesting and new kind of music. I like his music, and that's who I'm listening to right now. I don't think I have to provide a justification.
Please don't. Which is why.
That's why.
Don't, but it's okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. The only thing I wanted people to know is that your music taste is as eclectic as your fashion choices, and I love that. So on that note, and here's the last question. How would you define Babil Khan today?
I wouldn't. Why would I try to define myself? The moment I define myself, I'm done. It's become it's fixed. It's become one. It's become. Oh, do you know about? I could go on about this, but do you know about wave function collapse? Wave function collapse is basically the point at which a particle is in a superposition state where it can have multiple realities when observed, right? So even the smallest particle of our existence hasn't defined itself until it's observed. So it becomes a particle or it becomes a wave. It decides at that point when it is observed. It can be anything. It is only when an observation is made on the particle, that's when it decides if it's a wave or a particle. So even a particle is not a particle. It can be anything. So why define me when a particle is not defining itself?
Fair enough. And on that note, this man knows his quantum physics for sure. We only know these terms.
I really don't, honestly. I only know the beginnings, little bits of it, and they really fascinate me. But nobody knows quantum physics, I think.
I'm sure you know a little better.
And a lot of people know more than me for sure. I know a little bit. I know very tiny amount.
I remember only terms. So you're way better. But like I said, so okay, we're ending at this note saying Babil wants to be undefined, wants to be whoever you want to be, and you want to make great cinema. Is that right?
Sure. If that's the observation being made.
Yeah, I know great cinema is coming for you for sure. But thank you. All the luck for Logout.
Thank you so much.
I watched the film. I think you're fantastic in it.
Thank you.
But besides that, I know there's so much more that is coming up, which I don't think you'll be allowed to talk about yet.
No, but I will when I can.
When you can.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being a part of Spotlight Sessions.
Thank you. It was so good.
Thank you
It
for
was so much fun.
letting me see a side of you that probably we wouldn't have otherwise. And thank you for being so honest.
And thank you.
Lots
Thank
of
you for
love.
having me, and thank you for letting me be me.
Absolutely. And we love you, Babil.
I love you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you.